In the summer of 1848, something remarkable happened that echoed across continents. It was the beginning of an awakening that had far-reaching effects that are still with us today. Welcome to School of the Land as we discuss the fifth principle of the Baha'i Faith, the equality of men and women. In July of 1848, devoted followers of the Bab, the forerunner to Baha'u'llah, met together in the Persian village of Badasht. There, the poet and scholar Tahirih stood before an assembly of men and removed her veil. It was an act so shocking in the Muslim world at that time that the gathering erupted in commotion. But Tahirih's intention was unmistakable: to signal the dawn of a new age, one in which women would stand beside men as equal partners in the work of building a just and spiritual civilization. And just a few days later, the first women's rights convention in the Western world took place in Seneca Falls, New York. There, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and other pioneers drafted the Declaration of Sentiments, proclaiming that women were equal to men and possessed inherent rights that society had long denied. Two different events, one in the East, one in the West, and yet the same truth was breaking through. And that truth is the fifth principle of the Baha'i Faith, the equality of men and women. Now today, the idea that men and women are equal may seem almost passé. It's woven into a century of social progress, civil rights movements, educational reforms, and political debates. But not long ago, this was a revolutionary idea, one that challenged ancient customs, religious assumptions, and deeply entrenched structures of power. In the mid-19th century, the notion of full equality wasn't simply controversial. In many places, it was unthinkable. And yet, in that pivotal summer of 1848, something shifted. A new vision for humanity began to break through. The Baha'i Faith, born out of that earlier Babi movement, expresses this principle with unmistakable clarity. In the words of Abdu'l-Baha, women have equal rights with men upon earth. As long as women are prevented from attaining their highest possibilities, so long will men be unable to achieve the greatness which might be theirs. And again, divine justice demands that the rights of both sexes should be equally respected, since neither is superior to the other in the eyes of heaven. Dignity before God depends not on sex, but on purity and luminosity of heart. Human virtues belong equally to all. Equality, then, is a requirement of divine justice, a truth that alters the destiny of nations. But beneath the principle of equality lies an even deeper spiritual theme: balance. Think of the yin-yang symbol, two complementary forces, distinct yet interdependent. The masculine and the feminine are different but complementary. When one dominates the other, society becomes lopsided. When both are honored and empowered, civilizations rise. You can see this need for balance in terms of personal character. So, for example, too much aggression in a person becomes oppression of others. Too much passivity becomes subservience to others. The healthy middle is calm, purposeful strength. Too much trust becomes naivete. Too much mistrust becomes paranoia. The healthy balance is the capacity to wisely assess character. And the same need for balance applies to society as a whole. Mercy without justice collapses into lawlessness. Justice without mercy hardens into sanctioned cruelty. Too much emphasis on tradition devolves into mindless imitation. Too much emphasis on the latest trends produces a civilization untethered to its foundations. This brings us to a challenge in today's cultural moment. Across social media, an entire subculture, the so-called manosphere, has arisen in reaction to the social advancement of women. Many men feel threatened or displaced. And we should be honest, some of that anxiety is understandable. Qualities thought of as traditionally male, like confidence, assertiveness, protectiveness, the noble warrior archetype, can feel devalued in modern discourse. Meanwhile, economic forces have eliminated many of the stable roles men once held. For some, the rise of women can feel like a decline in the value of men. These concerns deserve to be acknowledged, not dismissed. But the deeper spiritual truth is that the empowerment of women need not diminish the value of men. In fact, equality frees both sexes from rigid expectations. It allows women to develop capacities long suppressed, and it allows men to express a fuller range of human qualities without shame: strength and tenderness, courage and compassion, confidence and humility. The Baha'i vision does not imagine a world where men become less. It imagines a world where both become more. Humanity can only flourish when men and women advance together, balanced, empowered, and united. The kingdom of God on earth begins with balance, within each human soul and across society. To learn more about the foundations of the Baha'i Faith, visit schooloftheland.com.